Can you imagine how much physics there is in a simple match of ping pong, in throwing a boomerang, or in a musical concert? Physics is all around us and governs our lives. In the recent years, a wealth of new technologies have found their way from science into everyday life. These innovations form the basis of our ever-increasing standards of living, with longer life expectancy, improved health and working conditions, speedy global communication, as well as easy access for everybody to information and new knowledge. But who is going to maintain these technologies and develop new ones in the future? Surveys show a frightening decline of interest in physics and technology among Europe's citizens, especially schoolchildren. The current disenchantment with science is becoming a serious problem for society, and national governments and international bodies are now increasingly engaged in finding solutions to this problem. Science education in school plays a crucial role in this context. The Physics on Stage project tackles the issue head-on. In early November 2000, more than 500 physics educators from 24 European countries gathered at CERN in Geneva to take part in the Physics on Stage festival, to show how fascinating and entertaining physics can be. The Physics on Stage festival formed a part of the European Science and Technology Week 2000, an initiative by the European Commission to raise public awareness of science in Europe. The event was jointly organised by the European Organisation for Nuclear Research, CERN, the European Space Agency, ESA, and ESO, Europe's Astronomy Education. In short, the leading intergovernmental research organisations on our continent. It was the first time that these three organisations joined forces in an attempt to stimulate the interest in science among young people in Europe. They were joined by the European Physics Society and the European Association for Astronomy Education, as well as national organisations in all the participating countries. A major element of the event was the fair, where participants demonstrated innovative methods and tools for physics teaching. On the day before the meeting began, the main building of CERN was transformed into a bustling exhibition site, indicating the exciting nature of the days ahead. What did the participants themselves expect?
Well, we're very excited about this conference. That's to do something about the state of physics, and there are lots of people with lots of good ideas.
Excited about what's to come. I think it's going to be extremely interesting and innovative, and hopefully a learning curve for us as well.
Well, first of all, to learn about the other participants. Which kind of things they show to the people, to which kind of activities they prepare for communicating with the general public or with the students, and also to show my proposals of some kind of academic use of toys and games.
I think it's very good to link all over Europe teachers with different activities and different ideas and different projects, and I hope there will be in future other occasions similar to this, because I think it's very important for young students.
After mounting their stalls, the participants were treated to an exciting welcome lecture by CERN theoretical physicist Alvaro de Rojola.
What is truly difficult to understand is not how complicated things are, but how simple things are.
Organizations can then build on. Physics on Stage is a European...
On Monday, the 5th of November, the Physics on Stage was officially opened by CERN's Director General, Professor Luciano Maiani, who emphasized from his own experience the immense value of inspirational physics teaching.
Physics on Stage will break new ground in the development of new teaching material and teaching techniques. And I'm happy to say that it has already initiated a very welcome collaboration between Europe's leading physics research organizations.
On behalf of the International Steering Committee, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this truly unique event. As you know, it is organized by
Dr. Richard West, chairman of the Physics on Stage International Steering Committee, also welcomed the participants. May all good forces be with you, he said, fully anticipating the huge variety and densely packed nature of the meeting.
If you get it to work, know what I'm trying to say is, if you can make it work...
Following the opening, Austria offered the first on-stage performance. In many ways, these performances were the heart of the Physics on Stage week. Here, a group of young students showed aspects of telecommunication since the bygone days of the World Exposition in London, and up to now, with remotely controlled spider-like walking robots.
What is not known is the law of repulsion.
The first German performance reenacted 3 electrostatic experiments used in a classical case of scientific controversy involving the French engineer Charles Coulomb, British scientist John Robinson, and German scientist Paul Louis Simon, recasted in the setting of modern television show. Who was right and who was wrong? The name of fame tried to negotiate the sometimes tricky question of how scientific knowledge attains its status and science progresses.
Experiment for attraction, and it worked equally well. Chancellor! Here comes the that was fabulous!
What shall I call them? Mirror electrons? Anti-electrons?
The last performance of the first day was given by a Swiss team of actors. It took place in a former experimental hall on the CERN premises, which had been transformed into a makeshift theatre. In a tantalizing presentation called The Oracle of Delphi, the Mimiscope Theatre Company kept the audience spellbound by their visualization of the world of antimatter, incorporating mime, music, and acrobatics.
As a thought, but also into antimatter.
With so many impressions already during the first days, many participants may have felt slightly tired the next morning, but at that time the conference was just about to switch into top gear, as was evident from the many activities at the fair. Physics is everywhere, and physics is fun. This was the clear message emanating from the fair.
We are modeling a greenhouse effect.
Between the different delegations.
Physics on Stage had clearly caught the interest of the educational world. It also attracted high-level politicians, including a Spanish senator and members of the UK Parliament. This provided an additional dimension for an open and fruitful dialogue between politicians and science educators.
Here are the same numbers for the major topic physics, the minor topic, no, major topic.
At this stage, another important element to the conference was introduced. In a number of intensive workshops, the delegates, teachers, professors, science communicators and artists had the opportunity to discuss and suggest solutions for the deeply worrying situation in which science and technology finds itself vis-à-vis society at large. Workshop subjects covered a wide range of themes, such as evidence for the falling number of students in physics in many European countries, science education in the primary and secondary schools, questions of the balance between teaching the fundamental principles of physics, mathematics, and topical issues, such as those related to sustainable development and scientific controversies, comparison between national curricula, women and physics, new educational tools, internet in the classroom, and the role of the European organizations in Europe's educational landscape. With participants representing the rich cultural diversity of the whole of Europe, the workshops became an ideal forum for a lively exchange of ideas.
Good morning, Geneva.
And more performances followed. Next in line was the Dutch Circus of Physics, a fast-moving presentation by students from the Department of Applied Physics of Eindhoven's Technical University. Not to be outdone by the Dutch, Ireland staged a spectacular presentation with a live performance of traditional Irish and world music played on plumbers' pipes and tubes to explain the principles behind the physics of sound. Within minutes, the CERN auditorium, so often the location for brilliant scientific presentations of Nobel laureates, was becoming a mixture of a concert hall and a physics lecture room, a rare event that the participants will remember for a long time to come. Finishing off the day, an expressive French presentation entitled "What a Wonderful World" explored some of the mysteries solved by quantum physics and astrophysics through dance, acrobatics and aerial displays.
It is very clear that on the one hand,
the workshops continued with sessions during the next days. One aim for each workshop was to produce a set of clear recommendations within each subject area. But given the multitude of problems and views, this was no easy task.
Are going to gymnasium.
The interest of the teachers.
Yes.
On the fifth day, prominent guests, including Phillipe Busquin, the European Commissioner for Research, Mr. Christian Roosing, member of the European Parliament, and the Directors General of CERN and ESO participated in the Physics on Stage festival. These high-level visits were accompanied with great interest by the media, culminating in a well-attended press conference.
Je trouve que c'est une extraordinaire occasion pour des professeurs, pour des jeunes au niveau européen de se rencontrer sur un objectif très noble qui est celui de promouvoir les sciences en Europe.
After their visit to the fair, Commissioner Busquin and the other important guests addressed the conference. Their speeches were followed by two spectacular presentations from the United Kingdom and Germany. First, Wendy and Mike Gluyas presented Musical Squares, a lively audiovisual exploration of the many aspects of sound and hearing.
This bit of air has a wobble.
Markus Hinz and Jörg Gutschank then gave a performance named A Top, a Boy and a Ping Pong Ball. An interactive show involving experiments on angular momentum, aerodynamics and buoyant forces. Everybody participated. Great fun indeed. Cheers! After another long and exciting day, the participants enjoyed a relaxed conference dinner.
We don't want people using them in a bad way.
And then the last day had arrived. Time to take stock of the many activities and in particular to hear the reports of the 13 workshops. The findings and recommendations of the workshops will be presented to educational administrators and legislators in all the member states. They'll provide a valuable contribution to the current debate about science and society.
The contexts. And that's why we have this recommendation to introduce it.
And then the end had come to a week-long, densely packed conference program. How did the participants find the conference? What were they taking with them back home?
I think this fair and this meeting is wonderful. It's the first time that physicists of whole Europe meet. They can exchange their methods and they can learn very much from each other.
Yeah, I'm very happy with this conference. I mean, all the teachers are really interested, and it's nice to be here and to exchange ideas.
I feel very tired because here are so many things to see, to learn, or to show to others, and so my head is so big, and I am afraid I will not remember all the nice things I have seen here.
I think the conference is very interesting. It's more lively than I expected, and the main thing I take out of this conference is contacts to other people in other nations, and I think that's the main effect.
There's so much to see, there's so much to look at, connections between the people, between the countries, about physics teaching, and that's really great.
The Physics on Stage Festival revealed the breadth and quality of modern physics teaching, which enthusiastic teachers can deliver to Europe's young generation, thus making an important contribution to improving public understanding of science.